Hi guys. Hi guys. Hello spooky elements. And welcome back to Elemental ASMR. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm very excited because we're bringing some spooky back to the channel today. We are going to be doing like a repeat of a video we did last year, which I really enjoyed. And that is the short scary stories from Reddit. I've picked like 4 to 5 depending on like the time frame. I didn't want to like this video to go too long. So hopefully you'll enjoy this one, because I really enjoyed it last year, but I don't think it was that popular. But the Elemental channel has grown a fair bit since then, so hopefully this will be a bit more popular. But I will link last year's video in the little box just here or at the end of the video, and I'll leave it in the description, so if you like this one you can go check out last year's. Apart from that, just a pre-warning, my laptop is a little bit old, so throughout this video you might hear some vent sounds. But so I do apologise for that. But apart from that, get nice and chilled and relaxed and just get ready to be scared. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoy this. I did try and pick like 5 different ones. I didn't want them all to be about like the same thing, so I feel like I've got a good mix. So yeah, like I said, sit down, lay down, relax, and get ready to be scared or fall asleep. Your choice. Okay, so the first story is my husband surprised me for our anniversary. And this is by, so these are all from Reddit, and this person was K_G_Lewis. So maybe if you like their stories, go and check these people out. Okay, so where are we going? I asked my husband, Jason. Where are we going? I asked my husband. Jason pulled the car out of the driveway. We were heading out for the night to celebrate our anniversary. It's a surprise, he replied. I hope your surprise isn't the Italian restaurant downtown again, I said. We go there every year, so it's not really a surprise. It's not, he assured me. Can I have a hint? I asked. I didn't like surprises very much. Nope. He turned to me and smiled. You're just going to have to trust me. Whatever it is, it better be good. If you're planning on getting lucky tonight, I warned him with a smile. Didn't realise this was 18 plus. Cut to about half an hour later. How much further is it? I asked. We'd been driving on the interstate for almost an hour. We're almost there, he said, turning on the blinkers to take the next exit. It doesn't look like there's anything out here, I said after looking around. All I could see was trees and hills. Trust me, Jason said. You're going to love it. I better, was my reply. Otherwise, you're sleeping on the couch tonight. 10 minutes later, he pulled off the road into a deserted rest area. Do you have to pee? I asked. Nope, He pulled into the parking spot and turned off the car. This is our stop. A rest area? Question. Come on. He got out, walked to the back of the car and motioned for me to do the same. This better be a joke, I said, as I got out of the car and joined him. Are you ready for your surprise? He asked, holding up the key fob with his finger on the trunk button. I can't contain my excitement, I yawned. He pressed the button, releasing the latch. Surprise! He gestured at the contents inside the truck. You've always said that Friday the 13th was your favourite movie, and since this is the first time that our anniversary has fallen on Friday the 13th, I thought it was time you got to live out your fantasy of being Pamela Voorhees. Inside the trunk were 2 sets of men's working clothes, 2 hockey masks, 2 pairs of boots, a machete and an axe. There's a camp about a mile up the road, he pointed. What do you say to that, Pam? I reached into the truck and tested the weight of the axe. I say, this is the best anniversary present ever. It's so, I quite like this one because, the whole story, when I was reading it, to double check that these stories are okay, I was vetting it, making sure oh my god, okay, so what's gonna happen? Because I thought, oh, the husband's bored of the wife, and then he's gonna kill her. But the fact he turns around and surprises her with a murder spree. It was a bit of a odd term for me. And then I just wanted to add in the top comment that said, a couple that stays together, which I thought was very clever. Okay. So the next one is called Witch Trial, and this is by Phylinx. That's Fyliinx. If I mispronounce that, you all know me by now. Can't read to save my life. So, obviously, I had to include a witch themed one, because currently we have Agatha All Along going on, and it is one of my favourite shows for a while. So yeah, if you potentially see a witchy roleplay coming up, hey, I don't know. You have to wait and see. Okay, so witch trial, let's get into it. She was chained to a stake, watched by the eyes of many with no one there to help. The executioner lit the first torch. Many others began to shine through the night. She was known for getting through the entirety of her trial by just staring at people asking her an endless stream of questions. Even when they had crushed her thumbs in the torture chamber, all she did as a reaction was shed a single lonely tear. The mayor was proud of himself. He swung big words to describe the success that they had made in capturing the red-haired monster that had lived between them for far too long. And finally, the executioner went up to her. He came closer by the second, smiling from ear to ear, ready to finally hear her scream until he himself was the one in excruciating pain, shortly before he died from ramming this instrument of terror through his own mouth. Everyone was shook. Nobody understood what had happened. The mayor stopped his words and watched it happen in horror. And finally, after days of waiting for it, he caught a reaction in the face of his silent prisoner. It was subtle, but it was the origins of what would very soon be a devilish grin. The folk quickly threw their torches, but oh well, it shouldn't have. The flames blew back. They spread the masses in all directions, set them on fire, with single fireballs hunting some individuals down. The swordsmen drew their sharp blades, but they did not strike. They stabbed themselves a horrid, quick bloodbath. 10 people gone in 3 seconds. Mortified, the mayor fell down to his knees, and the woman chuckled. All these years of hunting witches, she said, and none of you ever questioned what would happen if you encountered a real one, even though you feared the magic. And I really like that one. It almost gave me a little bit like Agatha's backstory, where they tried to her, but then she turned the tables. So, very good story. Okay. So, the next one is called My Son Won't Stop Crying About the Monster Under His Bed. And this is by Forgotten Well. Okay, so I've tried everything. I bought him a nightlight. I leave his bedroom door cracked and a light on in the hall. Well, I tuck him in. I make sure to check under the bed. I play it up big. Nope, there's no monsters down there. And still, I can hear him whimper all night. I'm at my wit's end. I can't get a wink of sleep. I've decided to be blunt with him. I get out of bed and I go to his room. When I enter the doorway, he quickly quiets his crying. We've got to have a talk, son. I walk in and take a seat on the edge of his bed. You need to stop with this monster business. I'm scared. He manages to get out. I understand, but there's nothing to be scared of. Monsters aren't real. They don't exist. There is no monster under your bed. I can only check under there so many times to prove it. You haven't been watching scary movies without my permission, have you? He shakes his head. No. Good. Now I need you to be a brave boy, okay? We both need a good night's sleep. Dry your tears. It's time for bed. For real this time, sorry. Do you need a glass of water or anything? Will anything help you get some sleep? He wipes his swollen red eyes. I know what. He says, maybe you could let me see my mummy and daddy. I'm your dad now. Never say that again. I kiss his forehead, make sure the chain around his neck, around his ankle is secure, and tuck him in. No more crying, okay? Sweet dreams. I really like that one because, again, most of the stories that I've sort of picked out, they have like this sort of like undertone of, or at least the first one and this one are like, you don't see anything coming. You're like, wait, what happened? How did this happen? But yeah, I really like this one. Right, I won't bore you with my opinion. Sorry. We'll move on to the next one. This one I have edited slightly because of some of the language, and it just needs a little change. But this is by Raven House, and it's called Visitor. Like I say, I've just edited maybe a couple of words here and there, and the last couple of lines, or last line, just to make it a little bit more scary. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's get into Visitor. It was a gloomy Friday night. The rain wasn't too light, but heavy enough to hear it thud on the aluminium covered surface of my roof. Sitting by my fireplace, reading a good horror story while sipping on some tea. The silence of the house, combined with the darkness illuminated only by my source of heat, was calming. As the soft ticking of my wall clock went by, I slipped into an almost meditative state. Nice and relaxing. A few pages later, a quiet chime went off. It was my clock signaling the midnight hour. I closed my book and swallowed the last bit of my tea. It's time for bed, I thought to myself. I put my book on the little table next to my recliner and my empty cup in the sink. As I walked past my couch on the way to my bedroom, I noticed a small stain on the cushion. Weird, I said softly aloud. I wiped it off and then proceeded to bed. About half an hour later, I awoke by a quiet knocking at the window. Thankfully, it was covered, staying as still as possible. Staying still as possible, I looked at the window, only to see a disfigured silhouette staring inside. Frozen, I tightly closed my eyes in a childlike hope that my comforter made me invisible. Some time passed, and it seemed like to work, till I heard the same knock on my front door. Now I started to panic. I forgot to grab my phone from my chair, and I don't want to risk that thing hearing me get out of bed. Suddenly I heard the doorknob being opened. Whatever it is her. Oh, sorry. Whatever it is has just now entered my house. My heart is beating through my chest. I lock my eyes on my bedroom door. My last line of defense. I said, damn it. Slowly I crept from under my covers and towards the door. As my hand made contact with the lock, the knob rotated. Fearing the worst, I backed up, mouth open, ready to scream. The door cracked open. A dark head-like shadow peeked in. Before I could utter a word, the figure screeched, "It's your demise." Okay. Again, I quite like this one. This is like the sort of real sort of scary. That because you all remember being a kid and like nights you can't sleep or you've had a nightmare and you hear like maybe a branch hit the window or you hear like a noise outside like an owl or I don't know, foxes, and you always get really scared and think, and then in the night light you think, oh my goodness, is that something at my window? So I thought that was like a really cool story. But this is the last one, so I really do hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know I'm not the best at reading and I get a bit muddled up, but I really enjoy these ones. I think it's quite cool to do like a little bit spooky. So if you've enjoyed, please let me know down below. That would be great, because maybe we'll do another one. It doesn't even have to be Halloween time. We could just do this at any time of year, maybe like some Christmas creepy stories. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, the last one is called Something Followed Us Across the Country. And this is by Page Turner 625. So, okay, enjoy the last story. It started as a joke, biking from New York to LA. Just for the thrill of it, Matt and I had a long history of dumb adventures, so why not? Cross country on 2 wheels. No big deal. We left in late May, bags packed and cocky, convinced nothing could go wrong. By Ohio, things got weird. It started with the crows, hundreds of them, sitting in the fields, staring. They didn't caw or fly away, just watched. I laughed at first, but by day 5, with those black eyes tracking us, I couldn't shake the unease. Matt brushed it off. Just birds, man. But I knew something wasn't right. In Missouri, the nightmare began. We camped by a river, miles from anywhere. Then I woke to a sickening crunch. I thought Matt had stepped on a branch, but no, he was still in his tent. I grabbed my flashlight and peered outside. At the edge of the clearing stood something tall, impossibly thin, with skin stretching tight over grey bones. It crouched over a deer, crushing its bones, shoveling its flesh into its mouth with a low, wet sound. I froze. Breath caught in my throat. I wanted to scream, but fear locked me in silence. I backed into Matt, waking him. Before he could speak, the thing turned, black eyes gleaming. It saw us. We bolted, grabbing what we could and pedaling into the night. It didn't follow, but the thing's eyes stayed with me, burned into my mind. Days passed, but I couldn't sleep. Every rustle in the woods made my skin crawl. Matt said I was losing it, that I needed rest. He wasn't wrong, but I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the creature. I heard that awful crunch, crunch, crunch. Then, in Kansas, Matt vanished. I woke up one morning and he was just gone. No tracks, nothing. His biking gear was still there, but he wasn't. I screamed his name, searching the woods, but it was like he'd never existed. I'm riding solo now, but I'm not alone. The the creature is still there, always at the edge of my vision, lurking in the shadows. Sometimes it's closer, sometimes I think I see Matt's face in the dark, his eyes just as black as the crow's. I don't know how much longer I can keep going. My legs are jelly, my mind unraveling. I know I'll never make it to LA. But stopping means facing it. Stopping means it gets me. Just like it got Matt. And the worst part, I'm starting to wonder if it's wearing his skin. That one is like, I thought was quite creepy. The top comment says, yikes, I would probably stop in the nearest city and hop on a bus. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's sort of like my favourite, like one of my favourite Halloween videos to do. I think it's just good fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, even with me stumbling over words. But there is going to be more Halloween-y vibes. It might not be labelled as Halloween because apparently YouTube doesn't always promote like things captioned as Halloween. So just keep an eye out. There'll be like maybe some role plays, and there'll be some more Halloween stuff. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I hope you definitely enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Halloween season. But yeah, I'll hopefully see you on the next video. Okay, goodbye, guys. Bye. Maybe sleep with a nightlight on.